Thank you. Chair now recognizes the gentleman from New Jersey, Mr. Menendez, for 5 minutes to ask your questions.
Thank you, Chairman. In today's world, high-speed connectivity is no longer a luxury. It's essential to how Americans work, learn, access health services, and stay connected to their families and communities. Expanding affordable high-speed broadband access across the country is essential to ensuring that American families can thrive in the digital economy. Commissioner Gomez, just yes or no, is the FCC's role to ensure that every American, regardless of where they live or their background, has access to reliable high-speed communication services?
Yes.
Thank you. And is ensuring that Americans have affordable connectivity and access to digital equity programs critical to the FCC fulfilling that role?
Yes.
Thank you. Before President Trump appointed Chairman Carr head of the commission, the FCC made real strides in expanding broadband access. Since then, many of those critical efforts have been stopped or been rolled back. Commissioner Gomez, would you say the FCC's rollback of programs and initiatives that support affordable broadband and digital equity has undermined the FCC's mission to deliver broadband access to every community?
I would.
Thank you. I agree. That's why I'm so concerned that under Chairman Carr's leadership, the FCC has deviated from its core mission. Further, since President Trump took office, we've seen the FCC's independence weakened. Chairman Carr, you authored the FCC section of Project 2025, in which you state on page 845, the FCC is an independent regulatory agency. Is that correct?
Oh, I authored that in my personal capacity. I don't say this to dodge,
Yeah,
just as
it's
right, just
right
as a
there.
point of.
But you did. You did. I
Just as a
understand.
point of clarification, just want to. say
Prior
that
to you
for
being
ethics
named chairman, you had written that the FCC was an independent regulatory agency. I'm going to continue. And Chairman Carr, just yes or no, did you testify before the Senate Commerce Committee on December 17th, 2025? Just yes or no? Yeah, I believe you did. It's in the record. And at the hearing, you testified in response to a question from Senator Ben Ray Lujan that the FCC is no longer an independent agency, and you reiterated that point earlier today. Prior to the senator's question, the FCC website was clear that the commission is an independent agency, but shortly after your response, this language was removed from the website as displayed here. Chairman Carr, did you decide in the middle of the hearing to officially abandon the FCC's independence, or had that decision already been made by you and President Trump prior to the hearing?
This is an important conversation. So the way.
Yeah, and my question is just on timing. So did you make that decision during the hearing or prior to the hearing? Because because the website said prior to the hearing that was an independent agency. You made a comment during the hearing, and then someone changed the website to say, make no reference to it being an independent agency. So I just want the American people to know, had that decision already been made when you walked into the hearing, or did you make that decision at the hearing?
I'm pleased that the FCC's website reflects my views. And what I'm saying
That the FCC is not an independent agency.
when you
That's
think about-
correct, right? So your view was, entering the hearing, it was an independent agency. During the hearing, no longer an independent agency. So that's your view that it's not an independent
That's not
agency.
correct. The independence is determined by a number of factors. It's multi-members, it's term of years, but the main key piece is, can a commissioner be removed by the president for no reason or any reason at all? And historically, the view had been that courts would read into the Communications Act for-cause removal protection that wasn't in the statute.
Okay, so let's just
Now
go.
the view is that courts
So let's
aren't
just
gonna
talk
do that.
about the
So formally
independence,
speaking,
right?
the
So,
FCC
so
is
I
not
understand what you're trying to make a
independent
case for what
agency.
independence
Since
has
the website
historically
reflects
made.
my view on
But
that,
you
I
no
think that's a
longer
good
clearly
thing.
want to say that it's an independent agency and just be upfront about it, as you did in Project 2025, as you did on the website entering that hearing. So it's just a question of, were you misleading the American people because a decision had been made, or it was something that you had previously discussed with Trump? On the issue of independence, you talk about broadcasters' public interest standard, and we've listed a number of instances where the FCC has gone after broadcasters. Can you tell the committee what investigations or actions the FCC has taken for coverage of Democrats that the FCC has disagreed with? Because there's been a number of things for President Trump, but what have you done that the FCC has thought was in violation of the public interest standard as it relates to coverage of Democrats?
The FCC right now has investigations into NPR, PBS, CBS.
Regarding their coverage of
NBC,
Democrats? Regarding their coverage of
radio
Democrats.
stations.
That's the question. Not the number of investigations.
good
Regarding
start.
the coverage of Democrats, are there specific investigations specifically to the coverage of Democrats? Because there's a number of for Republicans and Trump. What are you doing with respect to the coverage of Democrats that shows that it's fair, balanced, and you're not picking winners and losers? Just tell me what you're doing.
We don't have investigations that are targeting Republicans or Democrats. We have investigations.
No, but you've been
that
clear
focus
about
on
this.
public
I mean, you've been lauded by the president for going after people who disagree with the president's policies or who articulate positions that differ from the president's policies. I'm just wondering, to
Gentleman's
show that
time's
you're
expired.
balanced, what are you doing to show the American people that you continue to be an independent agency by going after agencies, broadcasters in a fair and balanced way? We know you're not, and that's why I'm glad that you're here, but we need to have more of these conversations. I yield.
Gentleman's time's expired. If the chairman would like to respond, I'll give you a few seconds.
I would say we have a range of different investigations that are underway right now. We're enforcing the public interest standard, and that's the work that we're doing.